And so it is, beloved masters. Pride and self-value. To be proud of yourself, to be pleased with what you accomplish, is a part of self-worth that has been a major ebb and flow of energy throughout the illusion. To feel good about yourself, to maintain that energy, has been very difficult in an energy that can take away from your value as quickly as it can give it. And the instruction, the teachings of how to be well with yourself, how to feel your value, how to experience it in everything that you create, has virtually become a lost art. And yet, now in this time, it is so vitally important that that be a major part of your remembering. As everyone is feeling memories, feeling a part of the remembering, and yet wondering, what am I looking to remember? And a great portion of what you are looking to remember are those things that bring you a sense of personal value. Pride, in its highest form, can contribute to the self-worth. But pride, more often than not, is that which celebrates the weaknesses, the flaws, and the downfalls of others in order to give itself a boost in the moment. Therefore, the saying, pride goeth before a fall, because so often when someone is engaging in prideful considerations, they are not paying attention to where they're going. They are so prideful that they may judge that their way should be made for them. And it is that entitlement, which is a very strong energy on the ball in this time, is an element of pride. That my life should be given to me. That I should have whatever I desire, no matter what. Now, soften that energy and, dearly beloved masters, internalize it. Feel it. Move deeply into your inner self. And what you are looking for, feeling for, is a sense of personal value. Pride is like hard vision. You're trying to see what you can do, what you can create, how others are perceiving you. Take a selfie and then look at it to see how they see you. Now, as you move into connection with yourself, softly, gently, connecting to the truth of you that has been there forever. That worthiness, purity of purpose, that intrinsic value that comes from the golden connection to the divine. Feel it within you. Softly. Receptive. Embracing. Inclusive. Transparent. For your value allows you a greater depth of intimacy with yourself and the confidence, the trust, the courage to allow others to see who you are. Pride is filled with facades. It is the elusive magician that says, watch this hand, but don't, under any circumstances, look at what's going on with the other one. Pride has held the masks in place until now. Revelation is just slipping them off. And what is being revealed is actually quite beautiful. In many instances, even those who are so afraid, who are filled with fear, who are desperate to hide. But when you look at them with soft vision, when you look beyond the mask of fear, the lines etched in their face from worry and hopelessness, when you look at their face, looking for the true self, the higher self, and as you look with soft vision, not scrutinizing or studying the lines and judging the pain, but desiring from your own place of gentleness, of connection to self, to God, you see on these faces the higher self. A glimpse of who they truly are. Momentarily, the face may relax, and you can see the child that they were. Or you can see the master that they are in totality. And as you are looking at others to see their beauty, their worth, their value, lift them up with your energy. Encourage them. Not saying things you don't mean, or attempting to get them to believe things that in the space they are in, they wouldn't accept. But a clear, honest truthfulness about what you are experiencing with them, in them. Energetically, the God in I experiences, recognizes, embraces, feels the unity of the God in you. We are one. I feel we are one. And yet, beloved masters, you really cannot convince someone else that this is true if you do not have that relationship with yourself. That you can stand before a mirror and with soft vision look beyond whatever you might see there that the ego would take you into critical judgment, to look beyond that. The fear, the tension, the anger, the aging process, and see the truth of you in your own face. And feel the embrace of God, the at-one-ment that is within you, that brings you that sense of value, that sense of value that flows in synchronicity, that sense of value that allows you to experience synchronicity. I am worthy. to feel the divine flow. I am worthy to experience everything that the divine flow brings. Pride says, I've got a right to it. And pride may push its way to the front of a crowd because it feels that sense of deservedness to be there. Better than others. I should have been at the front of the crowd to begin with. And so, as I push my way past everyone who has found their place at the front of the crowd, I assert my right because I know I'm better than they are. And that, in the energy of these times, begins internal earthquakes. The shaking up and the breaking apart of old, hard-hearted places. Because pride sets you apart. The ruler on the throne was unapproachable. The ones in high positions of leadership live very lonely, often isolated lives. They may gather with others who have the same idea, the same mindset, that they are better than others. But there is a sense of heart sickness in that energy of superiority. When you are willing to grant yourself the acceptance of your own value, it isn't asking someone else's permission. It is honestly assessing your value. Value that isn't measured by the ways of the world. Value that isn't assessed by dollars and cents. Value that isn't necessarily assessed by educational achievement. Value that can be assessed by sheer appreciation of your own energy, your ability to keep moving forward, to meet the challenges of letting go of so many things that you have believed you couldn't live without. Praising yourself for staying with you. when you may know in the past that you have run away, abandoned yourself, left you alone, sided with the world. And there is nothing, beloved masters, that is sadder than looking into the crowd and seeing your face among the accusers. So, making the conscious, clear, concerted effort to be present with you. Feel it. Feel you being there. Feel the gratitude of your heart and your soul, the gracious appreciation of your love for yourself. Because, beloved masters, 1,000 can gather around you and celebrate you and tell you you are wonderful. They can admire you. They can exalt you. But if you do not value yourself truly, then the experience may be a measure of shutdown. Either I don't believe that what they're saying is true, or perhaps the other end of the spectrum, all right, I hear what they're saying, what do they want? What are they attempting to get from me by praising me? As you genuinely value yourself, it gives you a much greater clarity that allows you to fully appreciate the gratitude of others, to trust it, to add it to your own sense of self, which in turn, beloved masters, allows you, as we were saying, to energetically uplift others. The more that you value yourself, the more you have to share energetically with others. And uplifting them, encouraging them, energetically supporting them is really like a tithe of energy. You cannot give it away fast enough. You share your sense of value with others. A feel-good feeling. Uplifting the mood in a room filled with gloom. Not by pushing the energy, but simply by being who you really are. So many in the world now believe that they get what they want by frightening people. There is a lot of bullying on the planet. The intimidators consider your control games from the Celestine prophecies. The intimidators are attempting to get control in every quarter. And yet those that are still invested in the control games that they have used to get energy, and beloved masters, that energy that those control games are attempting to get is love. And the intimidator so desperately desires to be loved, and yet the only way that they have known to get energy is through frightening people, through pushing people around, which doesn't last very long before they find themselves empty and all alone. Again, one more time. But as you find your own value and you live it in your life, the internal experience of personal value is like feeling the sun in the center of your being. That burst of warmth when you take a good stiff drink. And it's a temporary warm feeling, but it does warm the center of your being. Take away the falsehood of a drink and bring in the reality of the sunshine of self-value, and it warms you, as they say, to the cockles of your heart, the very center of your being. It expands your truth center. And that great energy center that exists between the heart chakra and the splenic chakra radiates benign, loving, powerful appreciation. Appreciation of yourself in the world, appreciation of the world in which you find yourself. The mind goes to judgment very quickly. And a lot of people pride themselves in their ability to scrutinize others and find every flaw. Lawyers, judges, journalists, politicians, And yes, here and there an occasional preacher. But finding the flaw and then pointing it out, emphasizing it, just pulls the energy down. And if you're the one that is pulling the energy down, even after you leave the situation, you may still feel a bit empty or deflated. But if you are the sunshine, and again I emphasize, this cannot be fictitious. It really is required to flow from the depths of you in love with you. So that that energetic embrace of worthiness, self-value, just flows out into the world. It's what reality is honestly all about. When you knew yourself real 1,000 lifetimes ago, before you entered the game of illusions, you enjoyed life. You valued life. And you treasured your own beingness in it. So now that golden thread of the ancient times in the very beginning, when you were new, is connecting with who you are today. In the ancient times, you were new. And now in these times, many people feel the weight of the ages upon them. They may feel very old, even if their chronology is not. And yet, as the golden thread is connected, you suddenly realize you are new again. Not new as you were in the beginning, but new, renewed, revived, revitalized, new to the next step of the spiritual evolution of Earth. And your personal sense of value is not just an ancient memory of someone you were that you're not now, but a recognition that everything that you have been has been moving you along the way through, yes, the crooked and perilous path of illusion, and yet, as you have in some ways moved so far away from the truth of you. Now in this time, you are closer to that truth and the revelation of where it's going than you have been since that journey of separation began. So feel your value.